Hello, today I'm going to show you how I have replicated myself using ChatGPT. What I mean by that is giving ChatGPT your voice, your style, your brand, so that it can think like you. I build AI systems for businesses, and I'm going to show you kind of like how I use ChatGPT in power user mode. This is how I use ChatGPT 80% of the time, and I do it for speed. I'm not using pre-built prompts, that you can download and get this prompt for this and that. I just don't use it. I tend to work from scratch every time, and it's just the fastest way to do it. And it means that ChatGPT will be less likely to sound the same as everyone else, and it will then be using your voice and in your style. And it's a much better way to work with it as your assistant rather than kind of using it as a piece of software. So that's the aim of today. And I'm going to show you how you can really quickly put this together and start using ChatGPT in a different way. So let's go into ChatGPT. You need to be on paying a subscription for this. I think it's $20 a month, something like that. And it's well worth it because it gives you access to extra features within ChatGPT. So what we're going to do is create a project. You can see projects are over here, and to create one of those, you just click on the plus icon here, new project, click on it and give it a name. So you can see I've already named one called Lee Sykes. So I'm just going to call this one Bob, and we'll create a project. So we've now got a brand new project. And within here, what you can do, you've got two things. I'm doing this rather than using building my own ChatGPTs. And I find that this is more flexible in various ways of, again, working really quickly. And I have various projects which I can then quickly switch between and share information between. So you've got your main chat window that you do here in the standard ChatGPT. And then you've got a couple of options where you add files, and then you can also add instructions. So I'm going to show you what I did for me. So in here are my project files. And what I did was a few years ago, I recorded several videos on YouTube. And these were videos about my thoughts on experiences, how to do business, tips on things like don't give up, how to be comfortable, get comfortable being uncomfortable. It's like general foundation of business. I had a lot of CEO training in the past, and these were the principles that they taught me. So that's what I was talking about here. So this is really good information because this is how I think. So these were 10, 15-minute videos. I took the transcripts of those. So you can use a tool online, download transcript of video for YouTube, and then you turn that into a Word document. So I created several Word documents which were basically my thought process. And because it was my videos, it's now got it in my speaking style. So you'll notice I'm from Yorkshire. So I may be cutting my words. I may not be speaking proper British English. So it's now already capturing the essence of how I speak and how I construct my sentences. So it's got the knowledge of how I speak and the knowledge of how I think. And then what I did is I gave it some extra bits like books I have read. So I went through my old Amazon purchase list for all time on Amazon, and I've added in the list of all the books that I've read and the author of it. So it knows, again, some of the knowledge that I know, and most of that was related to business. And then we've got, what else do we have? So there's I did videos on how to deal in high stress situations, don't give up. Oh, and then my history. So on LinkedIn, you've got your CV, business history and stuff. So this history here goes into further information, and it also has stories. So life experiences, things you've done in the past, maybe some funny anecdotes and that kind of thing. There's a story here about determination. So I've got lots of kind of funny stories that I've done over the years. And then there's one of here, Lee's philosophy. And there's a funny story here about my grandma and things like that. So now you're kind of adding in more of your personality to it. And again, the way I think, should you destroy your competitors, collaborate, how good it is to be in masterminds, education. And then I also here, so there's a document here, an overview of the services that our business does. And then there's a tip here on how to write LinkedIn hooks and comments. Okay, so it's got a general overview, but the focus on this project is me. Okay, so all of those files you add in, and I'll just show it in the Bob folder. So all you do is you go to Bob, you click on add files, and all you do is you drag in the files in here. So it can be images, it can be code files, any type of documents. So you add in your PDFs and Word files. That's basically what I did. And I find that, for instance, on the transcripts that came from YouTube, you'll see that it'll have time code in it, and it'll list in every single it'll be all the sentences one after another. So you can take that long transcript, you can put it into ChatGPT and just ask it to compress it down into a text document that's easy to read, and then you just import it in as a Word document. So that makes it easy for ChatGPT to process the documents. What we've got next is add instructions. So this is where, how can ChatGPT best help you with this project? So this is where you'd give information about the project itself. You can ask ChatGPT to focus on certain topics or ask it to use a certain tone or format for responses. So I'll give you the example of Lee Sykes. So if we go in here, and I'll give you the instructions. So I kept it quite brief, really. This project contains video transcriptions and documents regarding Lee Sykes. This is so we can replicate the philosophy and thought processes of Lee Sykes and his writing style and pull into any content references of experiences he has had. Don't use, so you can see ChatGPT always uses the long hyphen, always use, the standard hyphen. I've forgotten what they call this, but you know what I mean. When asked to write content, keep it casual and in the style of Lee Sykes, using any references of Lee you can relate to the task. Make sure you do not sound like AI. Take a step back. That's a useful phrase sometimes to help it think. Check your thought process, write a draft, and then write the final improved Lee-styled version. Use Lee's short bullet style, for example, and I'm calling out one of the documents. So there was a particular video that I did, which was stories about determination. And basically what I did on that video, I drank about 3 cups of coffee straight in a row. And I was reading it out. I was doing it straight off the top of my head, but I was reading out in short bullet phrases. And this is kind of the style that LinkedIn likes. So I wanted to reference it like that. So again, what we're doing is we're breaking ChatGPT away from its long, wordy phrases and long paragraphs that it tends to write. So we're just saying, writing for the story writing style. Do not make up stories. It's got to be true to what info you have on Lee. So this is really important because what it'll do is, if you're asking it to relate something, it'll just make up a story. So we're cutting down on the hallucinations. And so there's 2 things there. The other really important word is true. So something to know when you're creating prompts in general is if you're telling it to be truthful, and so on. Do not make stuff up. Okay. So we'll save that. And then basically you can just chat with this now as you would. So I'll give you an example. And I think there was a post in here, unless I've already deleted it. Oh, this one. So here's an example of how I was chatting with it. So I put, taking into account everything we have done, please write a post related to my grandma. Do the introduction to the grandma story and relate to everything we have done for these vids. So it will then go into all of the content within your project. It analyzes it and it knows your stories, and then it writes it in your style. So you can see that it's already writing how I actually talk, and it's doing it in the short phrases. We've not cracked using the short hyphens, look, so it's still doing it, but that's how it is. And it's talking it through, and it starts with the story. 12 years ago, I was running a campaign that didn't feel right. Yes, it made me money, but something was off. And in my head, I could hear my grandma's voice saying, I couldn't explain it to her without feeling dodgy, so I shut it down. And it's literally pulling in the information from the grandma's story, and it's writing it in my style. So if I want to reply to someone, and I let's just go back to and when I'm going for speed, I don't even care if I'm doing typos. ChatGPT can work it out. So I'm not going to fix these typos. So you don't need to bother with going backwards and forwards, going, oh, I need to correctly type this and everything like that. Ignore it. ChatGPT doesn't care. So again, we're just going for speed. So I'm showing you the shortcuts for, you don't need to get this prompt and copy this in. You need to just go bang it out. And the way to work with ChatGPT is to use it as your assistant. So it's better to just begin a conversation with it. So let's have a little think. What do we want to do? I should have prepared this before I started the video, but we're just going for speed. I need to write. Let's go. I've seen a post on LinkedIn talking about growing businesses and how old processes that got you to 100K won't get you to 10 mil. Can you write me a post, relate it to the book, What Got You Here Won't Get You There, and also the Slides Edge book. That one was super cool. I recommended it to everyone and bought loads of copies for my friends. Can you see I'm just writing nonsense right now, just because I'm trying to get it done really fast, and you can see how really good my typing is. So what we now need to do is, I would normally go further into it, write in Lee style, keep it in short, bish, bash, bosh, and add some insight. Right, so you can see my nonsense that I've just typed out there. Let's see what it does. So you can see it's searching the project files, and it's starting with, here's your Lee style post, bish, bash, bosh, straight to the gut. What got you to 100K? What get you to 10 million? Hard truth. I lived it. Same in life, same in business. You hustle, you grind, you figure stuff out. That gets you to six figures, maybe even multiple six. But to scale further, you've got to evolve. Let go of your old habits. Ditch the ego. Drop the I already know this mindset. That's where what got you here won't get you there. Hit me hard. Brilliant book, brutal truths. I'm not about working harder, although I am doing right now. It's about working differently. And then I layered that with a slight edge. That book changed everything. Bought it 4 times, gave it to my mates, told everyone. It's about tiny daily actions. Stuff so simple, you think this won't make a difference, but you do them every day and boom, exponential change. Here's the combo that worked for me. Drop the stuff that got you stuck. Add the stuff that looks boring but compounds, and think big but act small, and test everything. Yes, even what you think you know. Growth doesn't come from comfort, it comes from iteration, elevation, letting go of what's worked in the past. Old keys don't open doors. How cool is that? And that's me. It's literally me. That's how I am, how I think and everything. So you can see it. And the beauty of these, which is different to why I don't use these ChatGPTs, is I can go through, have this conversation, and I can change the model as I'm going in. So if I want this to now do a massive think, I'll go into these models. And some of them, if I'm wanting to write a post, I may start on ChatGPT 4.5. It is really good at writing. We just use ChatGPT 4.0 to start this off. And then if I'm wanting it to go in and do more thought process, I will use 0.1. But I'll do a separate video if this is of interest on the different models and how it works and everything like that. But hope that gives you some insight and is really useful for you. This I use all the time. And the other part to it then is what you can do is when you're working within a project, you can ask it to summarize everything you've done so far. So you can write a post going, summarize this for me. And then you've got a document related to something. So if you're doing a research project for instance, I recently did a post on scammers for voice AI. So I went in and did a lot of research in a particular project. I got it to then summarize that, as we did loads of research, different information, different docs. It summarized it, took the information from that project and then put it in the Lee Sykes project. And then I get it to write it out in my style. So you can see then this is a really good way of working, and it's a good way of organizing all your chats, and you kind of use it like you're organizing your files. That's basically how I use ChatGPT. Hope it was useful. Let me know in the comments. If you want more videos like this, let me know, and speak to you soon.